Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
I'll say it one last time. We do not need the Monday Night Football doubleheader, all right? You could burn that idea to the ground. Nobody needs two games, especially at the same time. And you know what's happening next week, Mike?
What's happening next week?
Texans-Seahawks, 10 p.m. for a kickoff. So
Perfect. We'll all be sleeping for it.
Terrible. We don't need that. Not when there's good baseball on top of that. There's three games is too much.
Way too much. And that Dodger game was, listen.
It was the best game. It was great.
If you weren't watching Dodgers and Brewers last night, what were you doing?
It was great.
Were you watching those garbage football games? Come on, man.
Bears was interesting. The Bears was a good game. The Bears was a good game.
The NLCS is on, mate. We were watching there. I was watching Terang sweat out a bases loaded, 2 outs with Trinan on the bump. One of the more crazier double plays, inning-ending double plays, was that game had everything.
Yeah, at the bottom
that
of the
game had a
fourth.
comeback. It had a Freddie Freeman bomb.
It's somebody else every day with the Dodgers.
Had Blake Snell going 8 innings. Brother, probably should have stuck with him. But
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo with you. You got Mike Rizzo. We got Christian Cat. We're streaming live from the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Got you for the next 2 hours today up until 6 p.m. on your radio dial, ESPN 106.3, on the ESPN South Florida app, and on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. You had the Dodgers and the Brewers. The Dodgers took Game 1 of the NLCS by a score of 2-1. And it was a dramatic game up to the last pitch between them and the Milwaukee Brewers. And on the other side of things, you got the Seattle Mariners, who dominated 10-3 over the Toronto Blue Jays. They take a 2-0 series lead. If there is not a series and a game that could illustrate the randomness associated with baseball, look no further than what's going on with Seattle and Toronto. The Mariners are coming off a Friday night 15-inning, used 7 pitchers, 3 starters. It was a slugfest, grinded out game. They fly across the country, and then they start the season in 2 days, in 2 games within 24 hours, because they had the early game on Monday. They start 2-0, and their offense has exploded, while Toronto's offense, who especially at home against the Yankees, couldn't be stopped. Every at-bat, there was a base hit, double in the gap, something, home run. Vladdy Guerrero, 9 for 15 with 3 shots. It was something else every game with them. And then now it completely flipped, and Toronto went completely ice cold, and their pitching has not been nearly as formidable as it was against a relatively bad offense.
right.
That illustrates the randomness associated with baseball, because who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that the Toronto Blue Jays would hit a wall that quickly after that type of series they had against the Yankees?
Dare I say, one of the MVPs of the entire Fall Classic is none other than Jorge Polanco.
Oh, my God, is he unbelievable.
Guy's got 7 hits, 3 of them are home runs, 8 RBIs.
6 of his 7 hits have been 4 runs batted in.
He's got 8 RBIs on 7 hits. I mean, that guy is winning games for them. I like what you said about the randomness of baseball.
That's it. There's nothing you can't predict that. You cannot predict
I'll take it a step further. If you're on fire at the plate, you're going to beat anybody. If you're hitting gappers, doubles, if you're getting Jorge Polanco home runs, it's not even. And listen, the big dumpers had he's not had a bad postseason, but like Julio Rodriguez is hitting well. Cal Rowley's having a decent one. You're getting production from Jorge Polanco. Why were the Dodgers so good last year in the postseason? It was because of role players like Edman and Teoscar Hernandez turning into a star.
Polanco was a throwaway signing in the free agency last year as well.
Correct. And once again, that Seattle general manager who has done nothing but add at the deadline for what seems like the last 4 or 5 years, finally starting to pay off. Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, Polanco, they've been building towards a playoff run for the last couple of years. I'm happy that it's finally happening for him. And this has nothing to do with Toronto being a Canadian team.
The series is also not over.
It's not. And how many times have we seen teams up against the wall on the road pull it off. Now, winning 2 in Seattle is going to be very tough, especially with their pitching and
2 out of 3. Yeah,
how well they're hitting too, and their pitchers and Kirby, Castillo, Miller.
It's probably going to be Kirby and Castillo the next 2.
Right.
And who knows if Brian Wu, who was their all-star pitcher this past year, who hasn't pitched yet in the postseason. I don't know if they're going to use him in a relief role, but if they're up, 3-1 in the 6th inning, and they want to use him out of relief with George Kirby on the mound, and they pulled Kirby, they could put in Wu.
Totally.
And then ask him to get 2 innings, 3 innings just to warm him up. That's totally in the cards.
What impresses me, too, with the Mariners, Gilbert only lasted 3 innings. Now, he was at 58 pitches. He gave up 2 earned. He just didn't have his best stuff. I actually didn't mind it. I think that there were two decisions as far as pitching in both of these games. I thought Snell, you keep him in, but
he was the most. That was the most dominant performance outside of Schlittler in Game 3 against the Red Sox. That was the most dominant we've seen.
There were 2 pitching decisions last night. In that game, it was Snell coming out. In this game, it was deciding to pull Gilbert in the 3rd inning after he was getting touched up. It seemed to work because Bizzardo, Vargas, Hancock, they were all able to weather the storm. Kyle, these guys didn't give up an earned run. I mean, the bullpen came in and slammed the door shut while the Mariners were scoring runs. If that's going to happen, they're going to win the World Series. If they're able to do stuff like that, not have a starter go 5-6 innings and have the bullpen arms be able to slam the door shut like that and also get timely hits from Julio, from the big dumper, from Jorge Polanco, that's what the postseason is.
Out of these 4 teams that we've seen them play each other, we're down to 4. I'm going to ask you 2 different questions. Best matchup for the case of the MLB. You know what that means when I say that. I do. In terms of what's best for the league.
I do.
And what do you think would be the best series for the World Series? The best, most competitive, entertaining series.
Best matchup would probably be Canada versus LA.
In terms of story?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the MLB. A Canadian team finally in it. They haven't won since the back-to-back years?
Toronto versus LA is what you're saying. Okay.
Toronto versus LA because it's the Canadian versus the LA factor. I think the best series is Mariners and Dodgers. I don't think it's close. Mariners have pitching. Dodgers have pitching. I think the Dodgers, I probably give them the nod on bullpen in 1 through 9. But if Seattle is going to continue to hit how they are, they could compete with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They could go yardie. What was the difference? And don't you feel like last night, let's quickly switch gears, Kyle, to that Dodger game. Don't you think last night was the Brewers' chance and they just squandered?
I kind of agree with you.
Now, they do have Peralta. Peralta, by the way, almost a 5 ERA in the playoffs, so like a 4.66 ERA.
But this is their lone starter that they're going to go for.
It is. But last night, bases loaded, 1 out. Or what was it? Bases loaded, no outs with Chiriot.
Then they walk, then they walk. So bases loaded. Are you talking about the
So hear me out on this.
4th inning or 9th inning?
9th inning. Chiriot at the plate. He gets a sac fly, scores a run. You got 1 out. Treinen comes in, walks the batter with 2 outs, and then I believe Terang at the plate. And
down
he gets
1, 2 outs.
Correct, and he gets a game-winning strikeout. Yeah. You got to find a way to go to extra innings. What did we learn about the postseason so far? It's bar down. In extra innings, when I mean bar down, anything can happen in extra innings. And in a position like that, Colin, I favor the team like the Brewers and not the Dodgers. The Dodgers blew the game. They used Roki Sasaki. They used Treinen, 2 of their best arms already. Now you're going to an extra inning game. You throw everything out the door. And this isn't like Game 5 with the Phillies or whatever who are throwing Jesus Luzardo out there. You would save your starters. This isn't one of those games where you throw everything out the window and you do what you got to do to win the game. You're thinking about the other games. I thought the Brewers missed their chance last night, and I got to give credit to Treinen, who came in there, walked the batter, had all the Dodger fans worried, and then that strikeout. I mean, you saw the celebration when he struck him out. It just seemed like that was a Brewers' opportunity because, when I was grilling you about before the game yesterday, Kyle, how are they doing a bullpen day? How are they doing? They figured it out.
Well, they're going to continue to do that.
What I'm saying is they figured it out, though, for 1 game. Murphy, the gaffer, the manager, he was able to play the matchups. I don't think you're going to be able to do that in a 7-game series. That was the game they needed to win. I'd be shocked if they win tonight. I would. I'd be shocked if they win tonight. I like the Dodgers. Colin, that game could have been 5-0. With that insane double play, which happened early on in the game.
In the 4th inning, yeah.
Colin, that was one.
Yeah, there was a little bit of magic.
Should have been 4.
What you're saying is there's a little bit of magic factor that if there was one to steal, all of a sudden you steal, the pendulum shifts.
I told you
you're able to steal it, And that fourth inning was bizarre. One of the weirdest double plays I've ever seen. For those who didn't see, it was basically bases loaded for the Dodgers and a launch. Let's take a listen to it, actually. We have the game audio here. So Teoscar Hernandez is at third. Will Smith is at second. And a basically thought no-doubter out to center field for Sal Frelick, I believe. Bobbled the play. Take a listen to what it sounded like in game audio.
Ball pitcher. Brewers set up for 2. And Muncy skies one to center field. Hit well. This one's got a chance. Frelick going back to the wall. He leaps. It's in and out of his glove, but he caught it. And now chaos on the bases. Might have a play at the plate. The throw. Not in time. No, he's out. He's out. It's a forced play at the plate. Also, did he leave early? Once it hits the glove, you can leave the base. It hits the wall.
It's a forced play then.
And now it's a forced play at home.
Let's see. And the throw beat him.
Yeah.
So you're going to have bases loaded and 2 outs.
No. 3 outs because Contreras ran to third. He ran to third.
So that, if you want to talk about the confusion on the broadcast, it was even worse for the players. Nobody had any clue what was going on watching the game. What essentially happened was Max Muncy launched that out to center field. Sal Frelick had basically in every position for a home run robbery. This is the bottom of the fourth inning. This is trying to get, the ball rolling. This, in my opinion, would have just closed out the game.
Agreed.
But what happened was Teoscar Hernandez was at third and Will Smith was at second, and they all thought that
he caught it.
They all thought that he caught it. And then what actually happened was, even Brian Anderson on the call thought he caught it. He dropped it, and because of that, everybody has to advance.
Right.
And it turns into a force-out play at third base, home plate, second base, and first place. Nobody knew that. Will Smith, who was at second, runs all the way to third, and then goes back to second thinking, oh, Sal Frelick caught it. So I have to go back and tag up.
Nope.
Teoscar was the idiot of the bunch.
How don't you make
Teoscar,
it home?
A really confusing, I understand it's a confusing spot, but Teoscar has no excuse here. Teoscar should have been on third and should have tagged up regardless of what happened. Because if he catches it, you run home. If he doesn't catch it, you run home and you still beat him. You can't be inside there, cost him a run.
It did.
But one of the more bizarre double plays I think I've ever seen in baseball.
I texted our group chat last night, like, what the hell are they going to do here? Because it clearly hit the wall. It was in his glove, fell out of his glove, hit the wall, fell back into his glove. And nobody on the field knew what was happening. That's why when I say the Dodgers were...
I can't even blame Will Smith. I can only blame Teoscar Hernandez.
It's not one of those situations where, with 2 outs, you're going. Everybody's going. You're running the base paths. This was with 1 out. So, the rules, the base running apply. I can't... Here's where I'll defend Teoscar to an extent. How the hell are you supposed to know if you caught that ball or not? You got to tag up.
Even if you don't know if he caught it or not, you can still tag up, and you're still beating him home.
Third place.
Catches it or doesn't catch it.
I think the third base coach was pretty shocking there as well.
Yeah, not good.
I think all around. But, when I say the Dodgers could have won that game 4-0, that's why. And even multiple times. I mean, the Brewers were the bottom of the 8th. The Brewers were flirting with disaster. I feel like the entire game, the Brewers were avoiding disaster. And that's why I think they needed a win in the 9th. They had an opportunity, bases loaded. Basically no outs. Chirrillo at the plate, and he flies out.
Yeah.
God, you would have loved the big hit to get 2 across the plate and a possible go-ahead. 1 base hit wins the game. I think that's why. And listen, I didn't listen to our sister stations, Madison or Milwaukee today, but I'm sure they're sick to their stomachs today. A base hit out of 2 out of the last 3 batters wins the game.
And even what you could say is when the bases were loaded, here's another point in the game that was crucial. That 4th inning debacle happens, that gives you the sense that, okay, well, that's the Brewers' escape. That sort of gives them life. And then Freeman ends up getting a homer to make it a 1-0 ball game. And then the top of the 9th, they walked in another run. It was a bad look. When it eventually becomes the 2-1, and Bryce Terang, who's the final batter of the game, comes out to bat. He is at a 2-2. Trying and throws him a slider. It goes, and he's a lefty. Goes right in over the batter's box. And Terang, it was a classic moment of wear it. If he wears it, if he gets hit by that pitch, it's going right into him. He's not leaning into it. He's not walking into it. None of that. If it hits him, because it's right on top of him, then everybody would have advanced and would have been the tying run of the game.
Yep.
And chances are you could have scored the game-winning run. That is how big of a play that was, and he moved out of the way. And then Pat Murphy talked about post-game. He goes, listen, anybody who plays baseball understands that the reactionary aspect of that, you're getting out of the way.
It's your instinct.
It's a 90-mile-an-hour slider. you're getting out of the way. And I understand that. So it's hard to put a ton of blame on him. But that kid Terang, is not going to sleep for a month knowing that if he just didn't move, they probably would have had the tying run and changed the entire dynamic of the game.
And I apologize. When Trio got out, it was 2 outs. Yelich walked, Contreras walked. And then with 2 outs, Terang struck out swinging, and to Colin's credit, didn't wear that pitch that would have tied the game. That kid wanted to hit the game-winning base hit. I could hardly blame him on that. He wanted the game-winning base hit. But I totally agree.
Is Terang doesn't get hit. He gets out of the way. He probably starts thinking about it. Then the next pitch, he swings at a fastball at his eyes.
Yeah, and game over.
That's the game.
Game over.
That's it. That was the game the Brewers should have stolen. You're right.
They missed their...
Not they didn't miss a window of opportunity, but you wanted to take both at home.
Do you like their odds tonight?
I think the Brewers are going to win tonight.
Okay. With Peralta on the bump, even though
we've talked about it, Dodgers did their job.
Yeah, they did.
I do think the series is going back to Milwaukee still. I do. Because I anticipated the Dodgers were going to win one of the two in Milwaukee. The Dodgers win 2. This is not coming back to Milwaukee. But if they go 1-1, I've always been on the side that the Dodgers, I would take them 2 out of 3 in LA. And then once you go back to Milwaukee, that Game 6 would be the crucial clinching scenario to go to the World Series. And I still stand by that because this is along the lines of what I sort of expected. I expect the Dodgers to take one of the two. So I'll stick to my guns there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would favor the Brewers tonight just a little bit because this is what they do. I mean, this is the best. This is the team with the best record in Major League Baseball. It's not just like it's a ragtag group of toys. This is a good baseball team.
I hate how they handle the pitching, and maybe I'm dead wrong here. You could tell me I'm dead wrong or not, Kyle.
I mean, they went to Quinn Priester and the guy did well.
He went 4 innings, but like, how don't you have more than one go-to starter?
I mean, yeah, but this is what they've been like. They're going to nickel and
You can't do this against the Dodgers, mate.
That's not the reason they lost, though. That's not the reason they lost. The reason they lost is because they couldn't convert
over a 7-game series, though.
Yeah, we could talk about it. You know, if the Dodgers have 10 runs tonight, we could have that same conversation. But that would be against Peralta. My perspective is that wasn't the reason they lost the game.
Agreed. But
you give up 2 to Los Angeles. You sign up for that.
Pushback is it shouldn't even have been a game.
You can't expect to shut them out. And we haven't even talked about it much. I mean, Blake Snell on the other bump. I mean, that guy he saw 24 batters, and he got through 8 innings.
Correct.
He allowed a hit, but then they got the double play. He 24 essentially came up and 24 went down.
You would have sent him out at 103.
I would have sent him out. Get out there. They wanted to go to Roki Sasaki. I understand that. Let him get the complete game shutout in the postseason. Nobody can hit him.
Roki, to be honest, I think that was a mistake. That was a mistake, but I think it was a bigger mistake just not going immediately to Trinan. No need to throw Roki. I wouldn't have threw Roki.
Yeah, but Roki's okay. He's been good for them. I can't blame the situation of how it went down.
I wouldn't have
because he pulled Roki at the right time and he put in Trinan at the right time. But I would be along the lines of if your most obvious situation, in my opinion, was leave Snell out there. Snell gives up a base runner, no outs in the 9th, then we could have a conversation and you got one on first. That's fine. But until then, 1 hit. Come on. Get him out there.
He played perfect baseball.
And they asked him about that post game, and he was so locked in. He's like, I don't know. We do what Robert says. That's no problem with me. I don't care.
Yep.
So I get that. And he's been outstanding this postseason. He's had 3 gems.
This is what separates the Dodgers. A guy, what, Kyle?
They got too many guys.
A guy.
That's the problem with them. They get too many guys.
It's what separates.
That's why I don't. You think the Mariners, if they hit the way they have, they'll be able to beat LA? I don't think so. I think this is going to be.
All right. So
this is going to be 6 within the rest of the way.
You're not to say finally. Maybe you've been there for a little bit.
They're going to win the 12 of their next.
Okay.
They're going to win 11 of their next 15 games.
I looked at you after the Reds series, and I said I just think the Dodgers are a cut above everybody.
7 of the next 11 games. I don't know what it's saying.
I was there after the Reds series.
Yeah.
I was there. And listen, to be fair.
You just didn't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. And Ohtani hasn't even hit well. Ohtani and Freeman finally got going yesterday. Ohtani hasn't even hit well. He's slumping. And they're still winning. They're winning every game.
Yep.
And
Mookie's been great.
Yeah. And he's been slumping. That is the craziest part. They're intentionally and the funny part is they're still intentionally walking Ohtani because they do not want him to get going.
Correct.
That's where this is like, guys, there's too many guys. They got too many players.
And
Kike Hernandez,
was
a
just
big
about to
hit
say.
every time he gets in that bat.
Dude, dating back to the Red Sox.
Every time
when
he gets
that
to that bat.
when the Red Sox went on their playoff runs, 3-4 years ago? I mean, now he's a hero again, second year in a row for the Dodgers.
It's every
this Tommy Edman
October.
and this Hernandez.
It's every October.
Guy had 2 strikeouts last time, but he also had 2 incredibly big hits in the game too. It's too much. They're too much. They're the evil empire. It's someone cue Lord Vader and Darth Sidious because their team's going to win another trophy this year. I mean, geez, Ohtani's hitting 138. Ohtani's hitting 138 with a 345 slugging.
And they've lost 2 games.
And a 286 OBP.
They've lost 1 game.
And they lost 1 godforsaken game where Babe Schwarber went home run derby. And it was the only reason they won that game, by the way, was because that cat hit 2 home runs. I have no hope for it. I told you I'm rooting for the Brewers. I got no hope. Peralta's been terrible. Oh, he's been terrible. He's been the lone starter for them. He's got a 5 ERA damn near.
This is their diet. They're going to figure it out via the bullpen those first couple of games, and then they will go from there. That is going to be the Brewers' plan, and I can't knock it yet until it's blown up in their face. Their arms have been pitching well, but I agree. Somebody's destined to screw up. You're just destined to screw up. You got too many guys out there.
You said blow up in the face. Down 0-2 is blowing up in the face on the way back.
But the Dodgers scored 10 runs tonight against their starter. What are we supposed to say? Mike, then what? What's the plan? This is must win. Like, obviously, They got to win tonight. Have to win tonight.
I said last night for the Brewers was must win. It's a must win, obviously, tonight. But, like, Kyle, what? You're going to go down 0-2 with 3 games in L.A.?
And the funny part
with
is...
With Ohtani waiting in tow?
We talked about yesterday how if the Brewers I would put the number at 7. I'm willing to move it to 6. But if the Brewers don't get to a 7-game series here, this season does not feel that good.
Has to be 7.
If they lose in 5... You're sitting there thinking, boy, we won 97
games. No, you
games,
tell me, are they the jolly-go-lucky Cleveland fan that drives me nuts? Because you want to know, when the
yes.
Guards, okay, yes is the answer. Because when the Guards lost, my thing is I'm tired of losing.
Oh, no, they'll
win.
be annoyed when they lose. They'll be annoyed when they lose.
Right.
But in the middle of it, they think they got a chance. So they think they got a chance.
Like
Hell or high water.
All right, let me rephrase. When I mean jolly-go-lucky, I'm just happy we won a playoff series.
Yeah, they'll want to knock AmFam Field to the ground if they lose in 5.
Okay.
That would be my perspective.
Okay.
Some people, at least.
Okay.
Some people. Because some will be thinking about the silver lining. Hey, you had a great team. You surpassed every expectation in the book. But the Brewers do this every year.
I know you think the Brewers win tonight.
I do.
If they don't win tonight, do they get swept? I'm there. If they don't win tonight,
No.
It's a sweep, and I still think Dodgers
It'll be along the
are
lines of that Philly. They'll give them a really hard out for 2 out of the 3 games in L.A., and L.A. would take 2 of them. That's what I would say. It would be sort of along the lines of what Philadelphia did.
Okay.
But the Brewers, I'm not counting them out. You know, I was expecting them to lose one of the first 2. I'm not counting them out yet because that team has guts. They just that was a Snell game. That was Blake Snell mowing them down. How do you expect? And the fact is, Blake Snell mowed them down for 8 innings, and they still almost won. That's where you got to have a little bit of confidence.
This might tilt Brewer fan a little bit. I apologize if it does for our Brewer fans listening. They had no business being in that game with 2 hits.
But that's the
thing.
They
had no business being in that game.
That's why you feel okay about it.
They had no business in the first place, and that's why I think they needed to go to extra innings and win that game.
But that's why
they needed to win that game.
That's ultimately why you feel okay. I agree. It was the game
needed
to
win that game.
I agree. I'm on the same page. But if that starter, Blake Snell, mows you down for 8 innings, and you were right there until the last pitch, you don't sign up for it. You digest it a little easier. The team's not afraid of them.
Yeah.
If it was a 9-1 ball game and Snell, mowed them down once again, we'd be having a different discussion. They were right there.
Can they hit Yamamoto tonight?
We'll find out. Didn't have a good start last time.
He didn't.
But he's been their best starter all year.
These are 2. Same could be said about Peralta. Peralta was their ace all year long. It's blown up since the playoffs. So I'm expecting more, Colin, with the over on the run line where they're good friends at Hard Rock Bet. I'm expecting more runs than 3 godforsaken runs. Right? There should be some fireworks tonight at, what's the stadium called?
AmFam Field.
Okay. Should be some fireworks at Graham tonight. All right? Should be some fireworks.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Listen in on the ESPN South Florida app. You can catch Russo and Rizzo in full in podcast format. Listen live to ESPN 106.3. We got the Kaiser University football games. We also have Inter Miami English and Spanish broadcasts all on the app. You got Theoretically Speaking on top of our local programming. Also, we got our extended high school coverage. That's every Friday night. ESPN West Palm High School game day. You can listen on the app. If you missed any of it, it's on the app, including the Florida Panthers. A new home of the Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Listen all on the ESPN South Florida app. Free to download on the App Store. We're going to do our top 10 poll with our college football, and we're going to figure out who has moved, who is not, who stays put. Mike is anti-Big Ten. We're going to have a big argument on where to put Indiana. Should be a lot of fun. That's all to come. Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
This Halloween, the scariest thing on your team shouldn't be your books. Don't be scared. Jay Zolo and Associates is here to exercise your bookkeeping nightmares. With QuickBooks Online and expert care, let Jay Zolo bring your books from RIP to MVP. Let the only skeletons you deal with be the ones in costumes. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar and Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. In office, West Palm Beach.
Step inside the Gardens Mall to witness Halloween magic.
On Saturday, October 25th, bring the little monsters to the Kids Club Spooky Soiree. Wear your costume to the Grand Court and indulge in offers from participating stores starting at noon. Booga and Hooga will also be in the house for a special performance at 1 p.m. Stick around afterwards to have your photo taken with the stars of the show. Fun is brewing at the Gardens Mall.
You don't want to miss it.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You got game 2 of the NLCS tonight between the Brewers and the Dodgers. You had 2 Monday Night Football doubleheader games last night. You got a whole lot to look forward to this weekend in college football. You can bet it all on the Hard Rock Bet app.
Last night, folks, I swung and missed on the NFL, but I was a big winner on the MLB side, and you could do the same thing with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. I mentioned the MLB, I mentioned the NFL. Well, guess what? Real NBA tip-off is just days away. So make sure you're getting on the app. Colin loves doing the overs, the season win totals. You could do the same thing.
Net's over.
Yeah, is that what you're on, that net over?
20 and a half.
Keep that in mind. The net's over. Cam Thomas, nice little guard there in Brooklyn. Maybe that's just a bet to score you some cash. But you could also bet on the preseason. I saw a report, Luka Doncic making his preseason debut in the Lakers' next game. You could bet on this stuff with Hard Rock Bet.
Ears to the street. How about that?
Yeah, and I was watching Big Perk on NBA Today. But you can bet on this stuff with Hard Rock Bet. Folks, you know me. I'm such a college football junkie. I love my college football, love my Buckeyes. They're a cover machine right now. Maybe look into some of their bets. But MLB playoffs, you got NBA right around the corner, NCAA, NFL. Perfect time to download Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That's 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
New AP poll is out. We had another week of college football to react to. Let's do our top 10 college football teams presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Who's moving up?
Went from unranked to the 14th team in the country. They were more motivated going into that game.
Who's moving down?
Can they have a good season after this? Maybe.
It's time for Russo and Rizzo's College Football Top 10 Poll. Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Folks, our power rankings, top 10 power rankings on the college football side, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com. My guy Sparrow, man, he's going to take care of you. Okay, Kyle, a lot of games, a lot of upsets, but I think, I don't want to say it's self-explanatory. There's movement with Oklahoma. You're not going to put Oklahoma in the top 10. Oregon is probably, in my opinion at least, still staying in that top 10. I think the only team that we left out that you add back to the top 10 would be LSU, no? You put LSU in at 10, and you take out Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because LSU, listen, they did win 20-10, right? It was ugly. Nussmeier, threw for one of the ugliest 235s and 2 tutties I've ever seen in my life. But I think for number 10,
I got an argument. Go ahead. You want LSU?
I think it's LSU. I do. I still would put the likes of Georgia, Oregon, Texas Tech, and Alabama ahead of them.
I'm in favor of substituting LSU out and making them our first team out and putting in Georgia Tech.
They flirted with disaster for a little bit on Saturday.
They're going to flirt
flirt
with the disaster every week they play. They're 6-0.
I think LSU's defense. Here's my issue. LSU's defense wins that game alone. I think Haynes King runs into a buzzsaw in that LSU defense. But, listen, this is the top 10.
Number 10.
Power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and
we're
Storage.
at a certain point.
They're undefeated.
That's the only reason I'm saying it. They both have beaten Clemson. So you can't. Where are we going to whine home about how great these wins are for for LSU? Where? They lost to Ole Miss. They beat South Carolina. South Carolina stinks.
We could do that with Oregon, though, and we're probably still going to put Oregon in the top 10. I think LSU has a better track record. If we want to play the schedule game, Oregon should probably be left out too. But
the one thing about Oregon is they're the team that burned Penn State to the ground, and I think whether you think Penn State stinks or not, they burned that program to the ground.
Okay, I'll listen to that. I just think comparatively, Georgia Tech doesn't have that many impressive wins, but that's fine.
That's the thing. Neither does LSU. At a certain point, when are we going to start rewarding the 6-0s?
No, cousin Blakey's not going to be happy with you.
Number
10, folks, Georgia Tech.
You want to do Georgia Tech? All right,
yeah,
I'm in.
We'll go Georgia Tech. Listen, I'll give it to you. Like I said, I think LSU's offense is a liability. Garrett Nussmeier is not the Heisman Trophy quarterback that we thought he was going to be, or at least running for a Heisman. Colin, that kid, he was supposed to be a first-round draft pick. I don't see it.
That team is not that top 10 good. That team's not that dangerous.
They don't score more than 20 points.
That's the problem. I'm fine with making LSU first team out until we show us a real SEC victory. I'm not taking South Carolina into consideration. I think Georgia Tech deserves this spot.
All right, let's do number 9, though.
Number 9.
Folks, this is our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com.
I think this is where you put Oregon.
Okay, so you still have Georgia in front of Oregon.
I would. Georgia has beaten Tennessee. I know Georgia had a bad win. They still won the game. They lost at home to a good team, and so did Oregon. But Georgia has that Tennessee win, and Oregon doesn't have anything.
I'm fine with Oregon
hold on.
here.
One thing, Oregon's beaten Northwestern. That's a good win.
You love Northwestern. Oregon, where you at with them? Are they an elite program this year? Dante Moore played bad at home.
One thing I know is that team has a ton of talent. There's a plethora of talent, and he's a good coach. We could say those two things we know for sure. I think Dante Moore is a young quarterback. I think you saw that.
Played him out of the game.
And I think that Indiana is a very good team.
Okay, so number 9.
Number 9
is going to be Oregon. That leads us to number 8.
I think this is
Number
where you
8.
put UGA. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, they shouldn't even be in the top 10 because they should have lost. The referee, and Colin, I hate the whole blame the referee card. I got to shout out one of my favorite people ever. My professor, Justice Hill at Ohio University Scripps School of Journalism, taught me to never blame the officiating. Justice, brother, I'm going to blame the officiating in this Georgia game. It was tragic. Damn near unacceptable letting Kirby Smart get away with getting a timeout back. With calling the Jackson Arnold touchdown a fumble when the ball clearly cost the pylon. You looked at it for about 30 minutes, and you still made the wrong call. But yes, sadly,
Number 8.
goes to Georgia.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Going Tech here. Where do we put Alabama here? So we get Tech, Ole Miss, and Alabama.
You're not gonna like where I want to put Alabama.
Where do you want to put Alabama?
I want to put them ahead of A&M. I think they're
you're
a better team than A&M.
I don't think you're putting them above A&M because A&M has better wins. A&M has got a much harder schedule than Ole Miss. I'll hear Ole Miss. I will not hear A&M.
Why? Because they beat Notre Dame?
They beat Notre Dame, they beat Florida, and they beat Auburn. That to me is enough.
But
they played a lot of games at home. But they've won at Notre Dame.
What about Alabama's last 3 wins?
Alabama's great. The thing is, they lost that bad game, and that loss does not look good.
First game of the year. If you want to,
Fine. I give Alabama so much credit. They got another top 10 game this weekend, or top 15 game this weekend.
I think I think Texas Tech belongs higher. They're undefeated, and I actually am starting to buy in. Colin, I'm starting to buy in.
I agree. Texas Tech hasn't been challenged yet, and I think that's a testament to how good they
are.
are.
All right, then right here,
Number 7.
I think you put Ole Miss. I think because I would put Bama ahead of Ole Miss.
You want to punish them for winning
I
against
kind of
Washington
do.
State? I'm okay
Washington
with that.
State.
You know
I
I'm
love
okay
Lane.
with that.
Dude, I literally love Lane Kiffin.
If we're going to be splitting
you gotta
hairs
punish
amongst
them.
the best teams in the country, I usually don't agree with you dissecting a 24-point win over a 70-point win. But if you're going to escape Washington State, this I could get behind. I can listen.
Lane, former FAU coach, we love him on this program, okay? But you got to get punished for only beating Washington State. Geez, they were like 20-point favorites too. So let's move on to number 6.
Number 7,
Number
Ole Miss.
6.
Number 6, I think you do Tech here. Texas Tech. They're 6-0. They basically haven't played a game within 3 possessions all year. If you want to count that Utah win, great win. Outside of that, you want to think Houston's pretty good, fun. They haven't played the schedule that Alabama has, which is why I would go pro Alabama here. I think Alabama's at 5.
What you just said, you're not necessarily buying the Big 12. Neither am I.
Buying the Big 12 is a word. I just don't. Comparatively to what Alabama, I know the SEC is really good. I know the SEC's got a lot of really good teams.
Really good or good?
Alabama just beat Missouri at Missouri. And fine, if you don't believe that.
I think good teams.
In conference road games, it's a coin flip. Not in that conference, it's a coin flip. You know that as well as anyone.
I do. I just think
winning at Missouri and then at Georgia with a tough trap game in between a Vanderbilt, we got to reward that.
I think A&M. Listen, we love Lane, but I think actually Ole Miss is probably even worse than Georgia and LSU.
You're not making the argument for A&M behind Tech. You're not making that argument.
Quickly, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. I just don't think there's a lot of difference. There's not
we're grading resumes.
Good teams.
We're grading resumes.
They're good teams. I just don't see a great team in the SEC. Could I change my mind? We got a lot of college football to play.
Number 5.
Just to clarify, Georgia Tech 10, Oregon 9, Georgia 8, Ole Miss 7, Texas Tech 6. Folks, this is our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com. My guy Spiro will take care of you. All right.
You want A&M here?
I do. I would like Alabama at 4. I think Alabama winning at Georgia and Alabama winning at Mizzou. We can sit here and talk about if Mizzou's good or not. I'll actually listen to that. They haven't played anybody and they're ranked, but at the same time,
they just never win a big game.
Correct. I mean, A&M didn't win a big game until this year, to be fair. But
that's why I think you got based off resume. That's why I'm going to give A&M the benefit of the doubt. And I actually thought Florida played pretty well in that game.
For this week, All right, for this week.
If Alabama beats Tennessee, we could have Alabama leapfrog.
I'll accept Bama at 5 this week.
If Alabama beats Tennessee this weekend, I am more than happy to have them leapfrog because A&M's got Arkansas.
Number
we
5.
can do a leapfrog. You
So
cool with
5,
that?
yeah, 5 is Bama. 4,
Number 4.
I think it's A&M. Do you agree?
No problem.
Okay.
I actually think A&M's quite good. I think they got a lot of pros on that
Because the
team.
Big Ten have 2 of the top 3 teams, in the country on our Good Greek Moving and Storage top 10 power rankings. This is I'd probably put Indiana at 3.
No problem.
Indiana at 3 was a good win against Oregon.
It's a great win.
Do you want to know why?
It's a great win.
I can't fathom. I guess this is just my snobby Ohio State fandom. I can't fathom Indiana's third-ranked team in the country. How the hell is this team the third-ranked team in the country?
Start believing. They're coming. They're here.
Can they beat my Buckeyes? You said they could last year. You were worried about. Actually, you told me to be worried about that Indiana-Ohio State game. Way more worried this year?
And you know what killed that game was special teams. Special teams killed that game.
Caleb Downs and the punter completely falling on its face.
It happened twice, and the game got out of hand after that. I remember that game well.
So
I would be more worried about this year's Indiana than last year's Indiana because I think Ohio State is not as good as they were last year, and I think you could agree with that. Please. And
I don't know, Kyle. He might be better this year.
Oh, God, I'm not listening to this.
Might be better this
Not
year.
listening to this.
From watching every single game, they have the 2 best linebackers in the country.
Mike.
Can I tell you something? Their secondary is better this year.
Mike.
Jermaine Matthews, McLean, Igmanosin.
They had too many good players leave last year offensively.
But
Offensively, they're not nearly as good.
And listen, I'm not going to throw Christian in here because Christian knows the Buckeyes reload. What you don't understand is
That's
that they
fine.
had Caden Curry waiting in the weights. They
Mike,
had
they got-
Edric Houston.
they got
waiting.
4
Kenyatta Jackson. These are 4 5-star players who are waiting for their
fine.
chance.
They got 4 impact players that are playing on Sundays right now that was on that offense last year. So
and defense.
Judkins, Henderson. Come on. Fine. Point is, Indiana is at 3. Number 2.
Number
Why would we
2.
change anything?
It's Miami.
Nothing
They
has
didn't
changed.
play.
Yeah.
The Buckeyes won on the road. They're number 1 this week. They won on the road against a ranked opponent. And spare me with Illinois stinks. Spare me with that. Because they beat
All
your
right.
beloved USC Trojans. The game
all right,
was
if
never in doubt.
If Illinois doesn't stink, then you got to give Indiana credit. You want to play this game? We can play this game. Then you got to give Indiana credit.
I
for beating
told
them
you
63-10.
I told you that's my ridiculous snobbiness. I'm better than you coming into here. Okay,
Fine.
I
I'm
admitted
okay with
that.
this. They didn't play.
I
They
admitted
didn't play.
that.
I'm okay
Miami
with that.
didn't play, and I was with Doc Alladay at Men's Only Medical. Okay, Doc All, I had something going on. He's a big Miami fan. We talked about Miami. Miami almost blew that game to Florida State too. If Florida State scored 3 points in the
won a
first
tough
3 quarters, they probably
in-conference-
lose that game.
If they scored, I mean, yes. If a
But you
lot
get
of
what I'm
things happened,
saying.
the game would have changed.
But you get what I'm
Like-
saying. Miami has flirted with disaster a couple of times already. They flirted with disaster against Notre Dame.
Well,
Fine,
because they've
give
played
them credit.
Tough, and
they
they've played
won.
tough games.
So is Ohio
what-
State.
No, they haven't.
Which Washington's a tough team. Texas is a tough team. Illinois is a tough team. I'm sick of hearing it.
Phony teams.
What do you mean phony?
Phony
Texas
teams.
just beat the number 6 team in the country.
It's a rivalry game. You can't
Stop
put too much
it!
stock in
Enough!
that.
You listen to yourself and the excuses.
Now-
Dude, all right, number 2 is
Number
Miami.
2.
And number 1 are the
1.
Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting
You want to
this.
write home that Illinois.
Not
please.
accepting this.
Illinois stinks.
Not doing this.
Illinois stinks.
Our top 10 folks.
Washington stinks.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Georgia Tech. Number 9.
Number 9.
Oregon. Number 8.
Number 8.
Georgia.
Number
just
7.
say
Ole
the
Miss.
numbers.
Number 6.
Texas Tech.
Number
You
5.
could just say the
Bama.
numbers.
Number 4.
A&M.
Number 3.
Indiana.
Number 2.
Miami.
Number 1.
Hang out, Sloopy! OH. Folks, that is our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Folks, you hear me talk about it all the time. Spiro and his team are the guys you could trust. They're the movers you could trust. You know, they all go through the Spiro Superhero Academy, which means, God forbid, you got to run to Home Depot. You got to run to the store. You got to pick up one of the kids at practice. These are the movers you could trust leaving at your home and getting the job done and making sure it's done the right way. But if you are moving, folks, don't stress it because Good Greek is your total relocation solution from packing and storage to local and long-distance moves. Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered from start to finish. They're trusted by families, businesses, sports teams like the Hurricanes who slid in at number 2 today.
Number 2.
And the Miami Heat, who are about to begin their season for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free with the world's only total relocation company. That's Good Greek Moving and Storage, and my guy Spiro.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We got Steve Politzino, the Good Karma Brands president, Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. With us next, it's ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Consider by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMITTED.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Joshua S. Jew, who operates out of Good Samaritan Health Center through the Palm Beach Health Network, and he explains how Florida is in the stone belt when it comes to being at risk to developing kidney stones.
There's a 1 in 10 risk of having kidney stones. Down in the stone belt, which is the southern part of the United States, especially the southeastern part of the United States, that risk is even higher. A lot of that's due to dehydration, which is probably the biggest risk factor for kidney stone formation, as well as diet. Having high oxalate-rich foods can predispose to stone formation risk. Florida is right in the middle of the stone belt, so a much higher risk of having stone disease here.
That was Dr. Joshua S. Jew from the Palm Beach Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. You got Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat with us. We're at the City Place Studios. We're also at the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. You've been in that car accident, truck accident, suffered that slip and fall, fell down the stairs. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys can help you. I know with Anajar and Levine, they got my back. They can get yours too. They don't even charge you unless you win. Listen, you got to call it like you see it. Settle. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call and take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control of Anajar and Levine. Haven't talked to him a little bit. It's the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, the Good Karma Brands president, New York Knicks fan, Steve Politzino, with us now on Russo and Rizzo. Steve, welcome in. How you doing?
Great to talk to you guys. How are you?
Wonderful. Steve, give us a little bit of a State of the Union really quick on, are the Brewers still have a chance here? And on the other side of things, do the Blue Jays even have a chance? Are we going to be seeing a Mariners-Dodgers World Series? Give us your thoughts on that really quick.
I'm excited about the Mariners because at the trade deadline, they're definitely, like I said this morning to somebody, I wish I threw a couple shekels on the Mariners at that trade deadline because and then they probably could have got better odds because they kind of stumbled, but they just look so loaded and able, to do it. So I think the Mariners are there. God, I don't want to count the Brewers out. They've been such a team of destiny and coming from behind, but yeah, after last night, it's not looking good there.
Uncle Steve, would you have taken Blake Snell out of the game going 8 innings and on 103 and only having one hit for the Dodgers?
No. I mean, he played to win in the postseason. I didn't see how many pitches he threw, but I knew he was pretty efficient. I would not. I would have left him in there. And I think the Dodgers bullpen has let them down, on and off this year. I didn't see the point. What's Snell going to start 2 more times this year? 3 at the most?
Yeah, let him go. I agree.
Him in.
Yeah, not a word about the Blue Jays, even if they decimated your Yankees. Not a word about them.
I'm ignoring them. I'm pretending they don't exist.
Well, Steve, don't worry. They're about to not exist because they might get swept in this series. I'm almost there with how well the Mariners are hitting. I mean, Steve, the Mariners got all the starting pitching. Gilbert laid an egg, and the bullpen came in and played shutout baseball. I think this one's over. I actually think you already have your World Series matchup. I think you got the Mariners.
I don't think so.
And I think the Dodgers are going to blow this thing open, winning 2 games in Milwaukee tonight. And Uncle Steve, I hate the 2-3-2 because if that's the case, if the Dodgers win tonight, this series is over, in my opinion, in a sweep.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Baseball, they're used to the traveling back and forth, and I know they're usually playing minimum of 2, if not 3 or 4 game series, but it really does. It really, I mean, you said 2-0 and you're going back home for 3. It's almost impossible to overcome that.
Steve Politzino with us now on ESPN 106.3. Steve, give us is it going to be the Dodgers or you still, I know you said the Mariners at the beginning of the postseason. That was the team you said to watch out for, but is this going to be Dodgers inevitability?
I hope not. I mean, I really hope not. I know I'm a Yankees fan, but the Dodgers feel like the ultimate big bad power, like with spending like $500 million on their roster, and they didn't even dominate in the regular season. And I think this is what they're set up for, like kind of make it through the regular season. They have different guys hurt at different times, get as many of them healthy, not that they're all healthy, get as many of them healthy for the postseason, and then just put like your A lineup out there.
Now, Steve,
and that's what's happening.
Now, Steve, I want to ask you, I agree with you. I think they are built for this. And they haven't even played that great in the postseason. They're still have only lost 1 game. But I want to ask you this. Now the Yankees have lost again, and everybody can point their blame in whatever direction they want. But it is yet another sports season with no New York championship. And it has been, I believe, upwards of 5,000 days.
Christian has the exact number.
Yes, today, 5,000 days.
Today is 5,000 days. Today is 5,000 days since a New York team has won a title since the 2012 New York Giants. Steve, first of all, I know your Knicks might be the best chance this year, but who do you think has the best odds, really, to hoist the next trophy in that of those sports teams?
Jets? No, just kidding. I think it's the Knicks or the Yankees, right?
I mean, is it? I mean, are the Yankees not going to continue to do the same thing they do every single year? Do they give you any rejuvenation that they can change things?
They get in the postseason. And if they had Cole this year, they were a legitimate, like it starts out to me as, are you a World Series? Are you a championship contender at the beginning of the season? The Yankees were. Are the Knicks a championship contender?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
This might be their 1 year because of everything that's gone on with, Pacers injuries and Celtics injuries and, Sixers rebuilding or whatever they're doing. And this might be the one chance to break through. When you're going in the beginning of the year.
Not to get too much into basketball season, I kind of agree with you. I think if there is a chance within the next 5-year period, I'll leave it at 5. In the next 5-year period, there is no other team to look at than the Knicks. That's where I would stay right now.
How isn't it the Yankees?
Because I don't think the Yankees are going to change. I don't think they're going to change.
Yeah, but the Yankees just reload. At least they're going for it. And then who knows what happens when you get in the playoffs. Although I do think the Mariners and the Dodgers, this would actually be how it should be. Because the Mariners and the Dodgers, to me, are the 2 best teams
now, Steve,
in their respective leagues. But in baseball, just like look at some of the teams that have won in baseball. And they were not like the Rangers when they won a couple years ago. They didn't dominate in the regular season. Like you've had teams that have just made it through. In the NBA, you really have to be a 1 or 2, maybe a 3 seed.
You have to dominate. Like you said, you have to dominate.
The Pacers were the Pacers were an anomaly.
Well, they dominated.
They were an anomaly, though. They weren't good. They weren't great in the regular season. They played a bully ball brand of basketball, which they got lucky because a lot of it were fouls and the refs were.
You don't get to the finals with being lucky.
By the way,
you guys forgot in Game 7. Is that lucky?
You guys forgot Cleveland in that Eastern Conference. You mentioned the Sixers. You mentioned the Celtics. And anyway, Uncle Steve, how do you fix the Yankees? You mentioned the Dodgers, right? How they're the evil empire. Uncle Steve, the Dodgers are the new Yankees. They're bringing guys up through their farm system who are panning out. They're trading guys through their farm system for top tier talent. They get all the free agents and Freeman and Betts and Ohtani. And it just seems like the Dodgers have that Yankee blueprint that the Yankees used for 25 years from about 1990 to 2020. So how do you fix the Yankees, partner? Is it going back to that, or do you got something else in mind?
So the Dodgers certainly do right now. That is for sure. And I think the Yankees actually began the fix last offseason by not signing Soto and then starting to put pieces like Fried, in place. Devin Williams, I know, didn't work out. They got Bellinger. Hopefully he stays after having a good year. And then the other piece is the farm season. Schlittler looked great this year. They got another guy in the minors, Spencer Jones, who's a bomber, who could be like next on his way. The Yankees have to make a decision about the following. Obviously, their manager. I'm ready. I like Boone. This year was exhausting for me. The getting thrown out every other weekday and the 2,000 lineups. I mean, not sticking with a lineup at any point. I had enough, and I thought he stayed with Devin Williams way too long at the beginning of the season. So, I think he's had his chances. This is the longest they've gone in the modern era without having a World Series. I think it would be it's time. So it probably starts there. I don't know they'll fire him, but I think it starts there. Left side of the infield. What is this? McMahon, Volpe? This is where we are now?
It's not good.
This is where we are?
Colin mentioned Colin wants to gut the infield in general, Steve, and I'm not too far off that.
Well, Jazz to me is fine, and then that's it unless Ben Rice is your first baseman, which he probably shouldn't be because Wells, he should be the catcher if you can get him to be your catcher. And they have some assets that they can move that don't cost a lot in Volpe and Wells. It's just if the Yankees don't believe in them, is somebody else going, to go believe in them? They're just an imbalanced team. They have too many players at the same positions and too few players
at premiums,
real positions of need.
Figure out what you're going to do with
their two biggest offseason questions to me are Boone and Volpe.
Get rid of one of your 3 DHs and then get rid of both shortstop and third base. You're not getting rid of Chisholm. Figure all that out and run it back with the pitching staff, and I think the Yankees have another line for a good year. But until I see anything change at the manager and general manager positions, I'm going to assume that the Yankees will always be the Yankees.
They need
the general manager is not changing. The general manager is not changing.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. And I don't think the manager is changing because of that either.
I mostly agree with you there too. I'm saying I'd be fine with it, but my odds are 70-30 that Boone is there next year.
How does Cashman survive, guys?
He was there, and he's been there for 25 years.
Link to Steinbrenner.
Okay, is this like a Chris Greer thing in Miami?
Chris Greer's been there for 6 years. Cashman's been there for 25 years.
But he's also been in the organization for 20. But that's nonetheless what I was trying to say. No, I agree with you guys. Booney probably needs to go, but it's not going to happen if you got Cashman there.
Steve, really quickly here before we let you go. If you want to watch your precious Giants, want to watch Jackson Dart, who actually has played quite well in 2 of the 3 games he's played to this point, where do you go watch it? You probably go watch it at Duffy's, right?
Yeah, and Dart was looking better and better. I was stunned at what happened on Thursday night. I will admit, I said to somebody, I thought in the soap opera that is the NFL, it was going to be a Philly get healthy game. a Philly, like we're down, now it's our turn to be good game, kind of like the Chiefs last weekend. Like, all right, Chiefs are back. Can't have them be too bad for the soap opera that is the NFL. Not that it's scripted, but it almost feels that way. Yeah, Duffy's, of course. We're at whomever you like, whether your team's up or down, regardless of the sport. Duffy's equal opportunity viewer because there's 80 TVs at every single Duffy's. And of course, you can enjoy the double smash burger, 2 certified Angus beef patties, caramelized onions, the melty aged sharp cheddar, the dill pickle chips, the lettuce, tomatoes. Oh my God. And that's just one of the many incredible things you can get this football season at Duffy's. Of course, your game day buckets, 2-for-1 drinks all day, 17 flavors of wings. No one does football season like Duffy's. Visit your local Duffy's Sports Grill at Duffy's. Our game is always on.
Steve, appreciate it as always. Looking forward to talking again soon. Enjoy the week. All right, next week it is.
Thanks, Steve.
See you guys on the basketball court soon.
Oh, boy.
How about that, Steve? Make sure you tell me when the draft is. I want to draft our
we're not
team.
missing that draft. We're not letting you draft for us. You want to blame Brian Cashman? How about we blame Steve Pollard Sr. for putting together the team last year, yeah?
Info coming your way soon.
Wow. Steve Pollard Sr., who, by the way, is the commissioner, if you can, of our youth basketball league that Mike and I coach in. We're going to have the 7th grade and 8th grade and 9th graders yet again. Steve drafted our team last year, and we won one game all year. We went about 1-15. So that's not going to happen again. And we are going to make sure we have eyes on the talent, and we will draft on our own accord.
I heard that our hat is in the ring for a head coaching position somewhere.
I have heard that. And that is like a real head coaching game. I can't say the school. Can you believe that?
Wait.
Yes,
Christian. Like middle or high school?
I heard this was a number of weeks ago, so I assume they filmed the position. This is a high school in the Palm Beach County, Treasure Coast area. One of our players, one of our players from last year, who is now in high school, who was in high school last year, but he was playing rec. Now he's in 10th grade. I don't know. His father reached out and said, "Hey, completely serious." And me and him don't have the sarcastic relationship that would allow this. I threw your name you and Mike's name in the hat because there is a vacancy of the head basketball coach at so and so school. And I go, I was never been more confused in my entire life. What? What? Don't Mike and I have day jobs? I guess it does. I guess we can make it work. But I mean, I'm like, did you actually?
Change daytime?
And he goes, yeah. What do you mean? Would I change daytime?
Like, would you talk to the bosses and be like, all right, I need to do a 10 to 12 shift?
Would we change our show to coach this basketball team? No.
Correct. Absolutely not.
You guys don't want it?
Don't want the basketball team?
I mean, Christian, we didn't apply for it.
We'll do before.
that's the thing, brother.
Nobody's interviewed us. It sounds like it didn't go anywhere, but it was a truly serious text because I haven't heard from this gentleman in, 4 or 5 months. And he said, hey, by the way, threw your name in the hat for this coaching gig. I think you and Mike would be perfect for it.
It's like when Condoleezza Rice was rumored to be interviewing for the Browns head coaching job by Adam Schefter.
Never had any. There was.
Saying misinformation out there.
You're
telling me this is real.
Mike, this is it.
I guess so. We're going to have to pull these kids out of science class because trust me, we're practicing at 11 in the morning.
That's fine with me. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo will do a little 5 and 5 with Christian Cat. On the other side of things, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Step inside the Gardens Mall to witness Halloween magic.
On Saturday, October 25th, bring the little monsters to the Kids Club Spooky Soiree. Wear your costume to the Grand Court and indulge in offers from participating stores starting at noon. Booga and Hooga will also be in the house for a special performance at 1 p.m. Stick around afterwards to have your photo taken with the stars of the show. Fun is brewing at the Gardens Mall.
You don't want to miss it.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health. Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 1063 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach. The Cognizant Classic returns February 25th through March 1st to the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa. Be here to watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, while enjoying elevated fan activities around every corner. Experience the energy with your friends and take in the excitement of this can't-miss event. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 1063. Wednesday, this is one you'll feel. Panthers, Red Wings. We set the tone at 7, live from Detroit on ESPN 1063.
It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 1063.
Pink Smoke is taking over South Florida. Listen to Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and Jordi Alba and Inter Miami in their pursuit of an MLS Cup all season long right here on ESPN 1063.
Messi, left foot, in on Guzan, tips it up and over, it's a goal! Lionel Messi is on the board!
Listen to it all on the ESPN South Florida app, brought to you by PNC Bank, Audi, and Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath.
8 years ago, I blew my football career.
He dropped it at the 1-yard line.
Chad Powers has arrived on Hulu.
If I can't play as Russ, I'll play as someone else.
My name's Chad. And last name?
From executive producers Eli and Peyton Manning.
Remember, you're wearing a prosthetic mask? This is acting.
And starring Glenn Powell.
He thinks you're a rubber toy. Not rubber. I'm a man made of flesh.
The Hulu original series, Chad Powers, is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. New episodes Tuesdays.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Solid to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
5 p.m. hour of Russo and Rizzo, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage on ESPN 1063. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Missed any of that first hour? Go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. all those great places. Just go to Russo and Rizzo or download the ESPN South Florida app. We got Christian Cat behind the glass at the City Place Studios. And I'll tell you another team, I want to talk about domination. Look no further than what the Kaiser Seahawks have been putting together basically on all fronts, huh, Christian?
Oh, they kicked the crap out of Florida Memorial down in Miami Gardens over the weekend. I was watching the game, and I was listening to the call on the Urban Edge Network. Yeah, Kaiser remained undefeated over the weekend as they beat Florida Memorial by a couple of scores. The Kaiser Seahawks are all about championships on the field and in the classroom. 26 natties, 26 red banners, 26 national championships. One of those football. And they've got their next home game coming up soon. This Saturday against rival St. Thomas. 6 o'clock kickoff. We will see you there. The game will be live broadcasted on ESPN 106.3. Myself and Jimmy Bell will be on the call. It's a pair of two top 10 teams in the country. Number 2 Kaiser, number 8 St. Thomas. It is the biggest rivalry in the Sun Conference. You got to be there to believe it. Get the latest on championship Kaiser Seahawk athletic programs at KUSeahawks.com.
Christian Cat, Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. Let's bounce around. Do a little 5 and 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Well, we had a couple of Monday night football games last night. Bills, Falcons. The underdog at home, Falcons won. Bears, Commanders. The underdog on the road, Bears won. My question for you guys, first, that pertains to the first game. Who is in more trouble and has more reason to worry? The 4-2 Bills or the 4-2 Philadelphia Eagles?
The Bills. I mean, let's call it like we see it. I mean, outside, at least the Eagles have beaten good teams. The Bills have beaten. Baltimore Ravens at the beginning of the year were a lot better than what they are now. We can admit that, fine. Outside of that, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Jets, they beat the Saints. That's not a lot of great. And the teams that they've lost to the last 2 weeks, they lost to the Patriots, who were up on the upward trend, and the Falcons post by, and the Falcons controlled the game for the most part. Controlled the game. Bijan Robinson had 240 yards scrimmage. I think the Bills are in a little bit of trouble here. Why? Because I think there's a team knocking in that division. Is there a team knocking in the NFC East? Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. The Bash Bros. The CTE incarnate.
I like that. The Concussion Brothers with Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. Is there a team that's knocking there? There's not. Especially after that Commanders loss yesterday. Not only is there less interdivision rivalry attached to it, the Eagles are also just, honestly, it just seems like a little bit more well put together of a team to this point.
Christian, I'm not worried about either team, but if I had to pick one, I would probably say Buffalo. I think Philadelphia has proved they could play great in the playoffs and win big games in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. They did it last year. Buffalo has not gotten past Kansas City. That's been the boogeyman. But boys, Buffalo did the same exact thing last year. They won their first 3 games and lost their next 2 to Baltimore and Houston. This is kind of what they do. They start out hot and then about 35% of the way through the season, they lose a couple of games in a row. Now, I mentioned the run game, right, with James Cook. If they can't run the ball, they're not a good team. If they can't run the ball, they're not a good team. And that's Josh Allen included. Allen's a great runner. When Allen and Cook aren't doing their thing on the ground and they're not able to be a 2-dimensional football team in the run and the pass, that smells trouble. Josh Allen throwing double interceptions for the first time in God only knows how long as well.
He was running for his life all night last night.
They got to him
offensive line. And listen, give Atlanta credit. They drafted edge rushers. They really wanted to improve that front 7. The guys rushing the passer specifically looked pretty good last night. I still don't believe in Raheem Morris. I still don't believe
Atlanta's
that.
weird. I mean, think about it. As you want to talk about an any given Sunday league, I mean, Atlanta, the last time we basically saw them, I mean, they were losing 30-0 to the Carolina Panthers. Then they beat a Marcus Mariota-led team on the Commanders, and that was pretty good. They go to the bye, and then they beat Buffalo. That was the best team I've seen them play this year. They did play great. It's because they give Bijan Robinson the ball. Let's call it like we see it. There is not a player in the NFL that I get more confused as to why he is not breaking records every time he plays than Bijan Robinson.
Now, I'm not worried. Is it a cop-out to say I'm not really worried about either team? I've seen this song and dance with Buffalo before.
I mean, they're 4-2, yeah.
But I'll listen to Denver being better, cheating Harbaugh being better, the Jags being better, the AFC South in general with Houston, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville being deeper. I understand the AFC is more open in years past when it was just really Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City. But I'm not worried at all about either of these teams.
Number 2.
How about to the 8 o'clock kickoff? Bears, Commanders, Chicago. Avenges last year's Hail Mary loss with a 25-24 win on the road. Was this close field goal win more about the Bears being back or the Commanders regressing?
I would not say the Commanders have regressed. I think that is true. And I think they're not playing nearly as well as they did last year. I think that's because of a bunch of different other factors. But this was a major spiritual win for Chicago. Caleb Williams did just enough. He didn't try to overpower the game. You got that sense early on. DeAndre Swift was all over the place. He didn't try to be
Superman.
He didn't try to do too much, and you got to give him credit for that because that was a different team that they would play. The first 2 weeks of the year, he would try to make magic happen every 5 seconds. He's playing within the offense a little bit. They're doing left and right a little bit more in the flow. And good for Chicago, because that's a game that Chicago never wins.
Correct.
They would never win that type of game. They would never get a fortunate fumble, 3 minutes to go, bring you down into field goal range, and is able to control and get an easy chip shot to win the game.
Christian, you mentioned the Bears are my quote-unquote second team yesterday. Fine. I root for the Bears, but I think it's more about Washington. I do. I mentioned Washington would take a step back before the year. I don't think any of us thought Washington was going back to the NFC Championship game this year. I think expectations were probably through the roof after that happening. But this is about Jaden Daniels turning the pilfer over late. I mean, that's what the Bears do. You're right, Colin. That's what the Bears do. Usually, Caleb Williams fumbles this ball, and the other team picks it up. They're able to go down the field and score. Do you want to know what the difference maker was DeAndre Swift. Buck 60 in total in the game,
great.
A touchdown, 100 yards on the ground. He had that big 55-yard reception in the game.
He's a different player yesterday.
I think it's more about Washington not being the team they were last year and losing close games instead of winning the close games. But you got to give the Bears some credit, too. Caleb Williams didn't play him out of the game. The reason I cut Colin off and said he wasn't trying to be Superman, I go back to, what was it, week 1 when they played the Vikings and Ben Johnson told him, go be Superman? You don't have to be Superman. You have a pretty good team around you. You got great running backs. You got great wide receivers. You got a pretty good defense that Ryan Poles has been building the last 3 years. I'm happy to see the Bears at 3-2.
Bears have a tough finish to the schedule, but their next 4. Saints at home, at the Ravens. That's post-bye. Probably a healthy Raven team. That will be a tough game. But at the Bengals, then Giants at home. That's their next 4. You could easily go 2-2 there. You could go 3-1. They go 3-1 with already 3 wins. That's 6 wins before you basically get to the midpoint.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're signing up for that in a lot of different years. And then you got to split a few, and then you go on to the postseason because they finish off tough. They finish off with the Eagles, Packers, Niners, Lions. I would say Chicago, you can't think postseason. A successful Chicago season is to like what's happening at quarterback, love the head coach, and to be flirting with a postseason spot. We're on track. If you're a Bear fan, you're on track for that. And who knows? How about the Bears finally making a big field goal with Jake Moody to win the game, a guy who was blown game after game with the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, they got rid of deadleg Cairo Santos.
And the one thing to turn it around, that Bear game last year, Christian said it, they played in that building last year. I think it was about 2 weeks later than what it was now, when they had that the Tyreek Stevenson and then the tipped Hail Mary.
No, because the Bears were 2-2 going to that game. That was the turning point, I thought.
They were 4-2 because they just beat Jacksonville in London, and then they had the bye.
Wrong.
I think that's when they came back, and I think they were 4-2 because the Commanders moved to 5-2 because of that game as well. I could be wrong. I might have my weeks mixed up. Point being, that derailed the Bears this season. They were 4-2. They kicked Jacksonville's butt in London. I remember this team was pretty good. That derailed their season.
It did.
It was a spiritual, mental breakdown for them. They haven't had that. That was a haunted building for them. They getting over that, I think, means a lot more spiritually for the rest of the season.
I also go back to what I said. If I could flip it around to the Commanders losing this game, they win these games last year. they win these close games. Granted, they're 3-3.
Good point.
They haven't played well, but somehow, some way, they're 3-3 and still in the mix for their own division. But Christian, to bring things full circle, to answer your question, I think it's more about Washington.
Number 3.
We have got a sneaky, absolutely loaded college slate coming up this weekend. Thanks to the SEC, if we're all going to be honest with ourselves. How about the 3:30 kickoff? Ole Miss at Georgia. That's number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. The 7:30 kickoff. Number 11, Tennessee at number 6, Alabama. And then Notre Dame contributes a little bit as they take on USC in that rivalry matchup. And you've got the Holy War later.
8-point favorites, I believe Notre Dame is in that game.
You're on the hook this weekend. You want to know why?
Well, because I like it. Because I liked USC.
I need your mighty USC Trojans.
Oh, let's not. I agree. Let's knock
Notre
Dame out of the postseason.
I
completely agree with you.
Well, I've got a good preview on the Georgia Ole Miss game. Take a listen of Lane Kiffin breaking it down.
Off the wall question: you and Kirby, probably some of the more demonstrative coaches on the field. Who do you think burns more calories in a game, you or him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I walked by the TV and saw his press conference today, so it don't look like he's burned too many calories. But he does have a lot of energy in the games, and he coaches really passionate. And I've given him heat before about the weight loss part. He says he's too stressed to work out.
That's Lane Kiffin talking about Kirby Smart not losing any weight.
I mean, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator at the same time in Alabama. Clearly, they have a good relationship. I love how he responds. Good question. That's a good question.
I love Lane.
That question's ridiculous.
Dude, Lane lives for those godforsaken press conferences, by the way.
That question is ridiculous.
I don't care. Listen, Coach, first off, Kirby's not fat. He's just pleasantly plump, and he's great for college football.
He's a Southern guy.
He's amazing. He's great.
He's every SEC couple.
But at the same time, Christian, I'm about sick of Kirby Smart getting every benefit of the doubt from the referees. I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. From that godforsaken semifinal game against the Buckeyes to that Auburn game on Saturday. I'm so done with Coach Smart getting all the calls. Jackson Arnold scored. Ball across the pylon. It's dead. Touchdown. Oh, I was just clapping my hands. No, you weren't. It's 2025.
I agree with the timeout.
No, you weren't.
I agree with the timeout. They should not have allowed that back. They screwed that up.
How don't you agree with the touchdown?
I don't think it was.
It crossed the pylon.
No, it wasn't clear enough.
Come on.
No. And you know what? They got a break because Georgia returned that for a touchdown, and they didn't call that. They called that at the line.
They scored 3. They scored 3 after it was 10-3.
It was a touchdown. That was a touchdown.
But still.
That was a touchdown. That was right before half.
It's not a touchdown. It was a touchdown by Auburn.
It was a Georgia touchdown.
No.
Dead wrong.
Dude.
Dead wrong.
The tip of the ball crossing point.
Clear.
Couldn't tell.
Because it was not
clear
loose.
Footage.
It was not loose. It was not loose.
Stop it.
It's not loose.
I'm not listening to that. That was one of the worst.
I actually thought, and the thing
Brother,
is,
you're dead wrong. One of the worst officiated games I've seen in a long time.
I agree with the timeout part. That was a big debacle, and that game was very bizarre. That was a really weird call. But I actually thought they got it right. I did. I thought that was a final.
The line.
I thought that was a fumble, and it wasn't clear as day. Dead wrong. Wasn't clear as day. I actually thought they got that right.
Oh, gosh.
I thought that ball moved because the same thing, it happens quite a bit when these guys knock the ball out when they're trying to reach. I mean, I thought he knocked it loose. I think that was a bad one. Was there a question with the SEC, or was it that Lane Kiffin?
It was just asking, what's your favorite game this weekend?
I would say, hopefully the USC can knock off Notre Dame. I agree with that on Mike's. Can they keep up? That's what I want.
Colin's on the noose for USC. Ohio State and Wisconsin, baby. We should be at the game. We should be at the game. It's a disgrace we're not at the game for all
night game.
Is that a night game?
You should double check that.
I
don't think it is.
I should know that. It's at 3:30. We should be there.
What a waste of time.
We should be
Number
there.
4.
After last night's loss to the Falcons, Josh Allen is not your favorite to win the MVP anymore. It's Patrick Mahomes at plus 200. If you were to bet your hard-earned money on anybody to win the MVP right now, right here, who would you bet on? Mahomes at plus 200, Baker Mayfield plus 300, Josh Allen plus 325, or I'll give you the field at plus 900.
Mayfield makes a lot of sense. He's a buzz type of candidate. I don't think Mahomes is going to get this. It's too early to say. What was the third one? You said Mahomes, Mayfield, and who?
Allen.
Mahomes, Mayfield, Allen, and other.
If the Cowboys make the postseason, Prescott's getting that MVP.
Is there any way they give it to a receiver?
Prescott's getting that MVP if the Cowboys make the postseason.
Is there any way Jackson Smith-Njigba goes for like 2,000 yards and they give it to a receiver?
It was Puka Nacua until further notice, first off, and now he's hurt. But yes.
Yeah, he's not in this top 15 list I'm looking at.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm dead wrong here. I'd go Mayfield. In my opinion, he's the sexy pick. I was high on Tampa Bay before the year.
He's a buzz player.
I'm gonna be cashing that Hard Rock ticket for 9.5 wins in the end of November. From the looks of it, so
Carolina as well.
Probably go big. You're still in trouble there. We'll see.
I'm in trouble every week with Carolina.
Yeah,
that's why it's fun.
You're still in trouble.
That's why it's fun. That's one of the most fun over/under picks I've ever made in my life.
Christian, you're gonna call me a phony for this, but oh god, I can't wait to have our bookie back on the show, Joe Fortenbaugh, because I cannot wait to talk to him about that Arizona team. They stink. The Cardinals stink, and
you were down on them.
I should have went with the Rams. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Number 5.
Prescott's getting that MVP if they make the postseason. Continue.
You think?
I do.
1,600 passing yards on the season already.
He is playing well. He's played great in every game. They have such a bad defense. I don't think they're going to make the postseason.
13 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
If they go on some sort of run, I think he's due. I really do. And he's played great.
On Hard Rock Bet, 40-1 to win the MVP for Dak Prescott.
That's good odds. I think that's because his team stinks is why those odds are not nearly as good.
The NFL won't give you the Russell Westbrook MVP.
No.
Oh, okay.
You got to be good, right?
You got to be. You got to make the postseason.
The team I was wrong about on top of the Cardinals were the Cowboys too. You can't lose to Carolina. You can't lose that game. And the way they lost that game was ridiculous.
Take that over.
They blew it.
Take that over.
What are they at? What are you at? 3 wins on them? And you need how many? 7?
7.
Yeah,
we're okay.
You're still in trouble.
We're okay.
Christian.
They got the Jets next week, by the way.
So I've had this in my head for a long time. It's been a while since I've been able to get this off my chest. I've got a problem. I keep too many things in my wallet. And I can't really fit my wallet in my pocket because of how many cards I do keep.
Do you have a bulky wallet? I have a bulky wallet. Do you have it on you?
Yes. And it won't close. Like, it just won't shut at all.
Oh,
my question for you, Mike.
Yeah, that's a bulky wallet, too.
I just cleaned it out.
Oh, you just cleaned it out.
What's the dumbest thing you keep in your wallet? Because I've got a plethora of very dumb things that I just won't relinquish. Because if I need it and don't have it, I will forever kick myself.
I wouldn't be surprised if you still have it. I have my vaccine card. My COVID vaccine card.
It's in my car, by the way.
I still have that. Moderna. Shout out Moderna.
Wow.
How about that?
That's going to be worth a lot of money.
On April 7th, 2000, it is like a fossil thing. It's like you're getting this from the Library of Alexandria. It's April 7th, 2021, and May 5th of 2021, Walgreens signed off on it. Still got it in my wallet.
I got to do the history shout because I'm fascinated that you know the Library of Alexandria. No one knows who burned that godforsaken library to the ground, by the way, but it had a ton of information about the Egyptians that got lost to history.
What else do I have here? I got a vaccine coupon from CVS. I don't know how long.
Right, just in case.
Can I go quickly?
I'm a big vaccine guy, I guess.
Christian, this is going to be very quick. I don't have a wallet. I have the back of the phone, and I just carry my cards and my ID.
You're doing it right, man.
That's it.
That's un-American.
I wish I was you.
That's un-American.
I need to be.
No, dude. It's a crit. So here's the thing. I went wallet until I kept losing wallet. I don't lose my phone. So, like, I always know where my phone is. So I decided to make the switch, and I moved down here to West Palm. Knock on wood, boys, I haven't lost a piece of identification, credit card or debit card since I went back of the phone.
It's a big lifestyle change.
I have a Dave & Buster's rewards card in my wallet. Still
ding,
got
ding,
it.
ding, and it says ding, ding, ding. What was your favorite game there? Cruising!
I don't remember the last
Cruising the world!
I do not remember the last time I've ever walked into a Dave & Buster's. I still got the rewards card. I still got my WIS card from Wisconsin.
I'm so mad I threw out my school ID.
I got my
college
Buckeye
ID.
You know how many
ID.
deals I get because I just show them the Wisconsin ID and it lets it work?
I got my insurance.
2 more years
The
left
only
for
time
that.
it didn't work is one guy in Peru pressed me on it, and I showed him my school ID. I wanted to get $30 off on some park I had to walk into, and he's like, "Let me see a passport too, match up the dates." I'm like, "No," and he wanted to see it, and I didn't get the student deal. I was a little disappointed by that. Wow, I got a lot of weird stuff here.
I've got my $2 off at 16 handles.
Wow, $2 off 16 handles.
16
handles.
Yeah, you weren't here for ice cream day.
Yeah, you
came
were.
on through.
Oh, that's a name. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you said 16 handles.
But boys,
of like
I also
liquor.
I'm also duffel bag boy. I always have a backpack.
Okay, so if you really,
I always have a backpack.
My
too.
question for you, Mike, you're very.
I'm organized.
I want to be in your situation where you have no wallet, everything strapped to the back of the phone.
Yep.
How many times in life do you find yourself needing something that you don't have that would be in your wallet? Because you can only fit like 3 cards in there.
That's not true, brother. I have. Let's count them up, Christian. 1, 2. So I'll just go through them. I have my medical card, my healthcare card. I have my men's only medical VIP card. Shout out Doc Al, saw him today. I have my Capital One card. I have my Amex. I have my Discover card. I have my debit card,
How many credit cards do you have?
And I have my ID.
So that is
I have
what
4
we get.
credit cards and a debit card, and then all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 items, and I could fit probably 2 more.
Do you fit cash? Do you ever keep cash?
I haven't carried cash on me since 2021.
What happened in 2021? Did you get robbed?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
just decided to go fully digital.
Wow. You're part of the problem. Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. You get a personalized card, and you get to go to the Uffizi Gallery. I think this lasted for a year. This was about 2.5 years ago. Uffizi Gallery, a little expired, but it's like a full card.
Christian, cash in book bag if I have cash.
I got my Social Security card on me.
That's fine. Do you have an air tag in your wallet?
No, I don't have room for anything else in my wallet.
Need an air tag in your wallet.
What if you lose the air
Hell is
tag?
an air tag.
What do you, an air tag, the Apple thing that tracks things? Do I have an air tag? Dude, invest in these.
What is it?
It's a tracker.
I don't need them tracking. I mean, they're tracking
You
you
said you
anyway.
lost your
Like,
wallet.
they know where you are.
But what I'm saying is, why do you need?
Apple knows
Or
where
they
you
don't
are.
care where you are.
Correct. That's the
They
point.
know where you are. Don't
That's
worry
the
about
point I'm trying to make. Why do you have that?
An air
what?
tag is tiny because it's like a Find My iPhone where you lose your
For your
AirPods
wallet,
ever.
For your wallet.
Everywhere. I have one in my wallet. I have one in my backpack. I have one in each of my suitcases. I have 4
Wow.
total. And I think it
Might
is
be
the
onto something there,
best
kid. That's actually a good
investment
idea.
ever. I just have my wallet.
Have you ever been?
You don't lose your phone. You don't have a wallet. But I have it in my wallet, and
Yeah, yeah,
when it makes a noise whenever you press it. I think that's the best thing I've ever done.
So I actually did, Christian, you mentioned AirPods. I lost one AirPod, and I was able to pull up the Find My app on my phone. Bro, I tracked that thing. I was like Indiana Jones looking for treasure, and it was underneath the treadmill that I run on in my gym. How about that? I was able to
So
track
not the
it.
case, the
The
little.
lone, it still had juice. I was worried it was out of battery, but it was less than 24 hours. You know those AirPods, dude. Apple, those things, and unless you have an iPhone 8 like me, you never get any battery. But I have the brand new AirPods, so like, it still had battery, and I was able to track it from my house all the way to my gym. How about that?
Need an air tag. Air tag in backpacks, air tags in suitcases. It is a no-brainer. That's why I have no problem checking bags ever, because I always can track it.
Have
Never a
you
problem.
have you ever had your wallet stolen?
Never.
Or been pickpocketed?
Never.
I had my brand new iPhone 4 stolen at St. Ignatius when I was playing basketball there.
Whoa.
They went in there
As a
and stole
child?
it, and we found it.
Who's
with-
they?
They will remain nameless. They were 2 students of Ignatius who didn't like me.
Did they get kicked out of school?
I can't tell you that much, but I got my phone back. They got in trouble because I know the dean, Mr. Hennessy. I went 9 years of Catholic school with Connor, one of my best friends to this
you
day.
went right to the cops.
But yeah,
You went right to the cops.
let's just say there was a difference in opinion that
You went to father. You went to the priest?
No, he's the dean of the school. He's married.
Catholic school, right?
Yeah, but he's not a priest. You're
Oh,
a
you
Catholic.
don't have like a nun or something like that runs the school?
Once again, I did not go to said high school, but I know the dean of the high school because I went 9 years of Catholic school in grade school with Connor, who's still one of my best friends to this day. But there was a difference. Let's just say a girl decided to come onto the Mike Rizzo bandwagon and not this kid's bandwagon.
Whoa.
And he, in
So hold on,
retaliation,
you took this kid's
Hold on.
girlfriend, he stole your phone,
Correct.
and then you ratted on him to the principal?
No, stole my
Wow.
phone. My mother and I used Find My iPhone because my mother had an iPhone back in 2012. Found the iPhone. I punched a kid in the face and took my phone.
Wow.
I don't know if you are legally justified to punch
I
him
got
in
in
the
trouble.
face.
I got in
Yeah.
trouble. I got in trouble. I smoked him. Smoked him in the face, down like a sack of potatoes. Frisked him. Grabbed my phone.
You robbed him.
I took my property back.
Did you take his wallet, get the cash out, and give him back the
No,
wallet?
I
he doesn't
took
have to-
his,
so he doesn't have to get this.
I
He
took
doesn't have
his-
to change his IDs.
I took his Apple chip. That's what I took.
What's his Apple chip?
What you just showed me.
They didn't have an Apple chip in 2012.
Hence the joke.
Oh, okay. All right, that went completely over my head.
I got someone stole my wallet at the racetrack in down the road.
Recently?
This happened in 2020 while I visited. This happened in 2018, actually. I visited here during spring break, and I was at the racetrack betting on horses, and someone stole my wallet, and I had to fly back to New York without any legal identification.
How did you get on the plane?
Did they pickpocket you?
I think I left my wallet on a table.
Yeah, so
but
this
I
is a
walked
self-inflicted wound.
But I walked like 20 feet away from the table, did the keys, phone, no wallet. Oh no.
Heart drops.
Quick, turn around. Looked for it for like an hour. Had to file a police report. That's the only way to really get on a flight without your ID is to have an actual police report.
That you get robbed.
Yeah, that I effectively got robbed.
Wow.
Never got that wallet back.
I actually,
be careful
boys,
in Turkey when you go.
So the
Yeah.
one
Be careful. Yes, those guys are professionals. Somebody will come up to you with a map. Hey, take a look at this, and then somebody come behind you and take all your.
Like Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
And they work in twos. They work in twos. So that is a true thing about pickpockets. They work in twos. So keep in mind, whenever you're talking to one, it's always going to be a woman that talks to you.
I'm going to do chain wallet.
Yeah. It might be two women. It might be there's always going to be a woman involved because it's just a little bit more approachable.
That's what happens to those Turkish ice cream stands. While he's distracting you with the cone and switching it, they're taking your money.
It's a bit.
Or if you're Wedge Antilles during the Bothan crisis and, the Star Wars book of, the 38 exactly.
Don't nod along like we're all agreeing with you. Like, yes.
I think you bring up like some major historical piece.
Yes, I thought this was a historic, yeah.
Spectre of the past when Grand Admiral Thrawn's clone was doing his thing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Get a satchel. That's my recommendation. I have a like around the thing, around your shoulder, and it's enough of a space where I could put my passport and my wallet, and you could squeeze in your phone, a little spare
Kyle
change.
is a professional traveler. Give the kids
That's
some
the way
credit
I
there.
do it, because I've been to all these places where they're literally professional travelers that target Americans, and they will go and find you public transits. Oh, it's terrible.
And he stays in hostels, too. Those places are dangerous.
I've been WhatsApping my the hotel that I'm staying at because he's organizing
That's
our
normal.
balloon trip and stuff.
That's normal.
He asked for my my passport number.
That's fine.
It made me uncomfortable.
That's fine.
That felt like sensitive information, no?
Well,
I mean, how else is he going to confirm you're you?
Christian,
he's not going to look at your Florida ID and be like, boy, is he good.
Dude,
No, you're in Turkey.
Do they speak Arabic there, by the way?
They speak Turkish in Turkey.
Christian, I didn't know it was.
No, that's a good question.
I'm
going there in 3 weeks. I didn't know
I
that.
had no
All
idea.
right.
Okay. You
But
should
the only
know that.
reason I asked, Christian sent us that app you had to download. Are you seeing Galatasaray? Is that one of the clubs you're seeing? Yeah, Galatasaray. Victor Osimhen, one of the top strikers in the world, plays for Galatasaray. They beat Liverpool in the Champions League, so you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Turkish football.
You're in for a treat.
I hope it's a good game.
I don't know. All I do know is that Istanbul is the busiest airport in the world, and I don't think you'll get pickpockets in the airport, but leaving the airport, they will come after you. And they will see you with your USA hat on, which you have on right now, and you're going to reek American. They're going to see you coming from a mile away. And don't get in a taxi. Find a different way of transportation because they will try to take you for a ride.
Oh, no.
Find out the right fares from downtown Istanbul from the airport, and then only do that.
I mean,
We are getting
Can
a-
I be honest with you? I don't want to go to Istanbul after hearing all of this
No, it's just anywhere.
riffraff.
That happened to me when I was in Morocco. I get out of the airport, and the guy's trying to charge me triple of what the normal one is. I'm like, dude, I know what it is. It's going to be this, or I'm not getting in your car. He's like, all right, get it. And I'm like, it's fine. You got to hassle, because if they see you're American, they see somebody they can take advantage of.
I'll just stay in the U.S.
You got to make
I'll just stay in the U.S., mate.
You can stay in the U.S. and go to Men's Only Medical to get your blood work
Correct.
checked.
And actually, I was just there. Shout out Doc Al, folks. I talk to you all the time about the concierge health service over Men's Only Medical. I usually, before I was a concierge healthcare member at Men's Only Medical, if I wanted a doctor's appointment, it's, oh, God, are you available this month? Can you do this week? You never get in the same day. You never get in the next day. Well, with Doc Al, it's simple. I shot him a text. Hey, brother, got something going on I'm a little concerned about. Can you come see me? Sure, Riz. You can come in today or tomorrow. Boom. That quick. That's a concierge healthcare service you get with Men's Only Medical. I'm also doing the preventative actions. We took all my blood work. We took all my, the cholesterol, A1C levels. I'm able to see all this stuff to prevent future things from happening down the line. Doc Al saw me today. He's like, Riz, you put on some muscle. Damn right I am. And that's because I am doing the nutrition program with Doc Al at Men's Only Medical, so I know what I need to be eating. I know the foods I need to avoid, which foods are good for my blood type, all that with Doc Al. Now, hair loss solutions, skin assessment. If you're dealing with heart issues, All that can be done with Doc Al. It's your one-stop shop. It's your one-stop men's clinic here in West Palm. I tell you all the time, there's thousands of these places for women all across the country. It's not a lot for men. And in West Palm Beach, our one-stop health clinic is Men's Only Medical. Saw Doc Al today. Go see him yourself on North Dixie Highway or go to mensonlymedical.com. Nurse C will take care of you. Visit him. North Dixie Highway, mensonlymedical.com.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We got a little baseball tonight. We'll close out the program. On the other side of things, stick around for it. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 106.3.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
It's Thursday. New Hard Rock Bet rewards are dropping.
Nice. Ed Reed, you in?
The only thing I drop is receivers and mics.
Ed, we're talking bonus bets, deposit matches, parlay insurance.
Oh, okay. I'll do that kind of drop.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Step inside the Gardens Mall to witness Halloween magic. On Saturday, October 25th, bring the little monsters to the Kids Club Spooky Soiree. Wear your costume to the Grand Court and indulge in offers from participating stores starting at noon. Booga and Hooga will also be in the house for a special performance at 1 p.m. Stick around afterwards to have your photo taken with the stars of the show. Fun is brewing at the Gardens Mall. You don't want to miss it.
Hurricane fans, October is coming in hot. Next up at Hard Rock Stadium is a Friday night lights matchup against Louisville on October 17th at 7 p.m. Then the Canes host a coast-to-coast game against Stanford on Saturday, October 25th. Lock in your seats now at MiamiHurricanes.com/football tickets. That's MiamiHurricanes.com/football tickets. And go Canes!
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Call Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Gators fans, you still have 3 chances to catch Florida football live in the Swamp this season. Don't miss homecoming against Mississippi State on October 18th. Military Appreciation Day versus Tennessee on November 22nd. And Florida State for Senior Day on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com to get your tickets today.
Yeah, man.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You know, maybe we'll see Penn State in the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, which is going to be kicking off its 12th year, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium down in Boca. The game's going to air on ESPN. It's going to have the brightest lights. 2 of the biggest and best teams from the group of 4 are going to battle out for their chance at the title. More information can be found at BocaRatonBowl.com. Follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl and Facebook.com/Boca Bowl as we inch closer to the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd. Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. I'd have to double check the odds of who's most likely to get fired next. And I'm going to keep this in the NFL now before we get into the college side of things, because Franklin was definitely the leader in the clubhouse. I'd imagine Luke Fickell is probably the most likely candidate to get fired in the college things. On the NFL, I think it's a little bit more open season on who's going, because I was pro, let's get rid of him, Raheem Morris. And I think Raheem Morris, he saved
one game. Bought himself a week.
No,
congratulations.
Now they beat Buffalo. That's going to buy him quite a bit. That's going to buy him quite a bit. Are you kidding me? What are they going to fire him at 3-4?
I'm not saying mid-season, but listen. At the end of the year, I still think Atlanta might have to have a conversation. As far as coaches that might be fired mid-season in the NFL, I don't see another firing. I don't. I see at the end of the year Mike McDaniel. I see possibly at the end of the year Raheem Morris. You already had Tennessee fire their head coach midseason. Colin, no one from the AFC West is getting fired.
How about this?
Brian Dable, maybe, depending on what Jackson does.
Bad year, Sean McDermott get fired. Based on what you've seen the last 2 weeks, if this spirals, 10-7 make the postseason, lose first round, or even
I'm
don't even advance.
I'm on record, Colin, saying if they don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I think they mutually agree to move on. You have to, I think. If you're Buffalo and you don't get out of the AFC in a year where the Chiefs look like they've been the most fun, and granted, I know the last 2 weeks they've looked really darn good, but the Chiefs not looking like that dominant team this year, and the AFC being open, if you don't get to the Super Bowl this year, when will you? And I think there will be a mutual split. I'll call that a mutual split.
An amicable, walk away.
Yeah,
they're not firing mid-year, obviously.
No,
but that is somebody that I would say the odds have risen quite a bit in his odds to get fired.
Now, you are Mr. Panthers. I think Dave Canales, listen, it's kind of been a nightmare.
Mike, they keep winning. You got to start giving a little respect to Carolina.
They stink, dude. They stink.
They stink, but they win games. They stink. They're going to get that over.
So let's go through the guys I said. Canales, Dable, McDaniel, and who's the one? Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. I cannot believe. I'm missing probably the biggest one. He deserves to be fired midseason, but he's not going to get fired midseason. That's Kevin Stefanski. He's a great. Listen, good coach.
I would say that's the most likely of the bunch to get fired midseason.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but it's time. That's the worst offense in the league and a historically bad Browns offense. They averaged 15 points a game last year. They're averaging 13.5. They somehow got worse. Unbelievable. And then they trade Joe. Did you see what Mike Tomlin said about Flacco getting traded intra-division?
I think he was right.
He was right. Let's listen to Mike Tomlin reacting to Andrew Berry, boy genius, GM for the Browns, trading Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me.
It makes sense to us too, Mike.
That you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
I think he's 100% right.
He's right, and I think a lot of it has to do with them playing Cincinnati this week. I think they were expecting to face Jake Browning.
I just think from a principle standpoint, he's completely right.
Yeah.
Hey, let me help fix our division rival's biggest problem.
We've never made a trade with them in the history of our organization.
Their biggest problem, their most glaring issue, let's solve that. Solve that at least in the interim. And then
to move up 15 picks, like a six for a fifth?
That's that Poindexter nerd stuff I'm always telling you guys about. They use way too much analytics. They don't realize that you need good football players on the field. That's my biggest thing with Andrew Berry.
And that's what you had with Joe Flacco.
Schlesinger and Jutland. I think a lot of it has to do with what's around Joe. The offensive line is horrible.
That's why he works. That's why he works in Cincinnati, because they got good players. You got
Chase and Higgins.
They got good players.
You got Jerry Jeudy, who, listen, Poindexters pay Jerry Jeudy. Poindexters don't like paying wide receivers a lot of money. Listen, we can sit here and say if these guys are making too much money. I think that's a conversation. But you got to have good. You got to have good players. Stefanski, Dable, McDaniel, Canales, and Morris. That's the list I've compiled for you.
I would also be on the side. I think there's a path for McDaniel to get let go midseason. I don't know if that's the Dolphins' way to do it.
Doesn't necessarily happen.
Is there a point? The Dolphins are 1-5, and I know they've been somewhat competitive. But hey, 2-9. Are you really sitting around saying, let's run this back with the coach after all the media crap storm that has continued?
Christian and Colin, it's already started, obviously, with McDaniel being 1-5. But do you want to know a good way to really get the heat going? It's to lose to the Browns in Cleveland, who are the worst.
If they lose, imagine this: they lose to the Browns in Cleveland. They have at the Falcons, Ravens at home, and this is the Ravens when they're healthier, and the Ravens who are going to need the game. At Bills and then Commanders. They could go 1-4 there. If they go 1-4, I mean, do the Dolphins accept that? That is 2-9.
No.
Do they really accept that? And maybe they steal one against the Falcons. Maybe they could win against the Ravens. But, I mean, what have we seen outside of them being competitive against a Charger team that is reeling? And, they were competitive against the Bills. I mean, every game they play is close. They just don't win the close game.
Historically, they don't do it intra-season. So I'm going to say they wait till the end of the year.
If I had to put my odds on something, I would say McDaniel, Stefanski.
Can I throw someone in their own category on a one and done? Who we've talked about before?
A one and done.
A one and
just
done.
Got hired.
One and done. Aaron Glenn. I think the Browns are worse than the Jets, believe it or not.
They brought in him, and then I believe they brought in the general manager.
Correct, though. But
so you're going to just keep everybody else around, but get rid of him?
Looks like a one-win team right now.
I don't disagree with you. That it's a nightmare.
Listen, 0-17 is crazy. It's very hard to go 0-17.
And the thing is that Jet team, talent-wise, I mean, they're not that bad.
They're not, but
I mean, is the decision, if it was Aaron Glenn's decision, like he made it seem it was, to move on from Aaron Rodgers, and the Steelers look that good with him, and Justin Fields looks as bad as he does?
I mentioned at the time that I thought they did Rodgers dirty. They didn't owe Rodgers anything. I agree on that.
The thing is, they signed Fields to a 2-year contract.
He acted like a child.
And the funny
Glenn acted like a child.
But apart from the actual manner of which it happened, the actual decision to move away from Aaron Rodgers.
And it was a very public decision because of Rodgers going on McAfee to talk about it. That's an option. Hey, you know what? If you're going to do it, it sounds crazy, flush it again.
GM gone again.
Everybody gone. So if this didn't work, we're not jumping into we're not doing the Titans. We're not doing this. Flush.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Everything. Flush everything.
33rd team. You guys still got our number? We got another job for you.
You're gonna have another search to do. Once again, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo saying so long. Enjoy the baseball tonight. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Same time as always, 4 to 6 p.m. right here on ESPN 106.3.
During football season,